That was the opening bell on the New York Stock Exchange a little more than 2 months ago on March 20th, just before the trading floor was shut down due to the pandemic. The shutdown is something that has happened a few other times in the past, like after the 9/11 terror attacks and after Superstorm Sandy. With both events, trades were halted entirely. While trading continued this time electronically, the floor itself has remained vacant. That will change on Tuesday, when the exchange's physical footprint reopens with new safety measures in place.
It is a time-honored tradition, the ringing of the opening and closing bells at the New York Stock Exchange. And while that iconic clanging wasn't silenced by the coronavirus pandemic, its home, the trading floor, was.
There's a clarity in crisis. You know what you need to do, and you know when you need to do it.
Stacey Cunningham is the president of the New York Stock Exchange, who ordered the trading floor closed March 23rd as the pandemic was unfolding.
We were concerned about the healthcare system and putting any additional strain. So we made the decision to, while we were learning more, take a step back, send traders home so that we weren't adding any additional strain.
We profiled Cunningham 2 years ago as she was taking over the helm on Wall Street. She says back then she never imagined having to make a decision like this, but says her experience working on the trading floor during another turbulent time in American history came to mind.
In 9/11, I was here. I was working on the trading floor.
Were you really?
Yeah, and after that event, there's sort of a New York tough component to that. This is a little scarier because you're worrying about, once you're in the building, you're still not entirely comfortable.
Which is the whole reason for the pause.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's take a pause.
Unlike 2001 and other closures, this marked the first time in the 227-year history of the New York Stock Exchange that trading continued electronically while the physical floor was shut down. And it did so without a hitch.
So we've prepared, some of those preparations look like pauses, market-wide circuit breakers, and some of them allow us to continue operations even if the trading floor is inaccessible. So you always have a little bit of anxiety as you're getting ready to see it live for the first time, but it worked flawlessly, and that's really a testament to the teams and their preparations.
About 80% of trading on the New York Stock Exchange is done electronically, even under normal circumstances.
If so much trading is already done electronically, why do you need to open the trading floor?
It's a great question. It's the moments in time, those moments of stress where it matters most is where human judgment is most valuable. The traders on the floor aren't going to stop major market movements, but they're going to make that micro volatility, the small, rounded out around the edges, which saves investors money. And we have seen a degradation since we've closed the trading floor.
Is there also a symbolism to having the New York Stock Exchange trading floor open?
Without a doubt. The New York Stock Exchange facade is the face of capitalism and our global economy more broadly. And so recognizing the fact that we can set an example for how America should reopen, slowly, cautiously, flexibly, ready to move as needed, is an important thing for our economy more broadly as we look to get us started.
But the trading floor won't look like this when it reopens Tuesday. PPE like face masks will be required, along with social distancing. And there will only be about 25% of the normal trader workforce on the floor, around 100 people.
We're focusing on those that are small businesses because they're most impacted. I think that's an important message for New York and the U.S. too. Let's help those that are impacted most by this and start with our energy there. And if others can stay remote, let's keep them at home to reduce the risk in our communities.
How much have you thought about what it will be like having that opening bell ring on Tuesday with traders there on the floor?
It's going to be certainly a very historic moment and special moment for the traders on the floor to come back. But it's not the moment we're looking forward to celebrating. The bell that will really celebrate is when the U.S. gets to open for business again and we can really celebrate the reopening of America.
And you know, the one thing that I was talking to Stacey about as they are reopening is the question I think a lot of people have. So what happens if somebody tests positive who's there? And she pointed out that they're not looking at just stopping one person. If one person tests positive, it's about an outbreak. So they're taking all of those regular precautions, the temperature checks and the masks that we mentioned. And that's the idea behind this. That was the idea behind the pause. And they go forward hoping to keep everyone safe.
Great update, Dana. Love seeing you guys 2 years ago. Love seeing the update today. So we'll wait and see what happens this week.